Hello, I'm Chris, and here I am in the beautiful bushland in the city of Kalamunda. The city of Kalamunda is lucky enough to have native fauna that is so amazing and unique. Let's have a look at some of these animals today. Here we are in the cockatoo enclosure, and this is one of our cockatoos, Henry. Our other cockatoo is George. In the local Noongar language, they're called karak because of the sound that they make. These birds love to be in the tall canopy of our bushland. Their favourite food are honky nuts or jarrah nuts. You've all seen these in the bush. Inside the marri nuts are these 4 big black seeds, which are part of the cockatoo diet. To be happy and healthy, cockatoos need to eat about 400 marri seeds a day. If you see a flock of birds flying in the sky, it's easy to tell the difference between the males and the females. The males have an orange band in their tail, and the females is quite barred with a variety of colours, yellow, orange and black. The main threat for these cockatoos is habitat destruction. Not only do they need the trees to provide food in the form of the fruit with the seeds inside, but they also need nesting hollows. The problem that the cockatoos do have, and what makes them quite vulnerable, is that they only lay 1 egg and hope that that young reaches adulthood. And 1 young is born every 2 years. Let's say goodbye to Henry and George now and visit some other animals. This is a tawny frogmouth or kambani in local Noongar language. A lot of people will mistake these birds for owls, but they're not owls, they're actually from the nightjar family. And they catch food with their mouth, not with their feet. They have very, very soft feet, so I can hold on to this bird without using a leather glove. One of their special features is their waterproofing. They are one of the most waterproof birds in the world. Today we're going to feed the tawny frogmouth a mouse, which will be a real treat. Tawny frogmouths mate for life and will have 2 to 3 eggs. They build a really flimsy nest, and quite often the babies fall out. Bye for now, precious. We're off to see the possum now. As the name suggests, they are very common in the bushland, and they have a brush tail. This is Pirate. His local Noongar name is Kumal. Pirate is named Pirate because he's blind in one eye. He was abandoned by his mother when he was just a youngster, and luckily enough a rescuer came along and brought him to Kanyana. Natural predators for possums in the wild are snakes, lizards and birds. Introduced species are cats that can easily climb trees. In the wild, their diet would be leaves from about 3 to 4 different plants, blossoms and fruit. This area quite often have trouble with possums in their roof. If you would like some advice on how to remove them safely, please contact the City of Kalamunda. A variety of animals live in the natural bushland in the city of Kalamunda. One of these animals is the echidna, or ningan in local Noongar language. This is Aruba. Echidnas are a well-recognised Australian native animal. In Australia, we have the short-beaked echidna, and they can weigh from 5 to 7 kilos and live for about 50 years. Echidnas are very unique Australian animals. They are mammals, but they are also monotremes. Along with their relatives the platypus, they are the only 2 monotremes in the world. They have many physical features and adaptations to help them live in their habitat. These are called spines, and they use these spines as protection against predators. Where do they find their food? In the natural bushland, and their favourite food are ants and termites. They can move very fast when they move and are excellent swimmers. Their tongue is 18 centimetres long, and to help them find their food, they have 400 electroreceptors in their beak. Some threats and dangers for them are car strikes as they cross the road, and predators, mainly introduced animals like foxes, dogs and cats. Fire is a major threat to native wildlife. Have a look at Aruba here with this burnt log. If a fire were to come, she would burrow under the ground and cover herself with dirt. They shelter in rotten logs, tree stumps, burrows and under bushes where ants and termites are likely to be present. What can we do to protect echidnas? Awareness is a key point. Being aware of them being in the bush and also on the roads. We can preserve the natural bushland so they always have a habitat. On a fine sunny day like today, you might be lucky enough to see a bobtail in your garden or in the bushland. This is Smuggle, and she lives here at Kanyana. The name for a bobtail in local Noongar language is yawn. Bobtail skinks are very common in the city of Kalamunda and surrounds. You might even find them wandering into your house, sheds, or find them in your backyard. How will you recognise a bobtail in the bush? Let's start with the head. It's triangular, 2 nostrils, 2 eyes and 2 ear openings. Internal ears so the dirt doesn't get in. On top of the head is a 3rd eye, covered by a thick scale. It's called a parietal eye, and it helps the bobtail skink with thermoregulation, hormone production, and also navigation. The scales themselves are heavily armoured so that they can protect themselves when walking through bushland. So why a blue tongue? There are 2 trains of thought as to why bobtails do have a blue tongue. They use their tongue to taste the air. In a defensive pose, they will open up their mouth very wide, display their leaf-shaped blue tongue and hiss violently at anyone approaching. Bobtails are opportunistic feeders. They will eat a mixture of plant and animal life. Snails are a favourite, eggs especially, yellow flowers like daisies and the hibiscus. If they're lucky enough to find a vegetable garden, tomatoes and strawberries are on the menu. Bobtails face many threats in the wild and in suburbia. Natural predators of bobtails are birds of prey, ravens, kookaburras, snakes and dingoes. Introduced pets are also a problem, like dogs and cats. Many bobtail admissions come to Kanyana due to being hit by cars. Here at Kanyana, we work on creating better habitats for all species. And you can get involved too. Removing weeds, planting food plants, creating shelter, removing rubbish, all help to preserve the natural bushland and create homes and food for native species. It is so important that we protect our native wildlife and also preserve their habitats. If you would like to make a difference, perhaps you could consider joining one of the Friends of groups. Please contact the City of Kalamunda for more information.